And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Wild Arms 3. I'm your host, RPG Guy, and to get us started here, we're at the load screen for a reason, and that's so you guys can see the animated intro. You're going to see some animated stuff, and you'll see some still images. The still images actually are implied that there's a scene there. You just don't know what it is because you haven't uncovered it yet. So I'm just letting you know, and then I'm going to try to make a habit of showing the loading scenes as they change. I can't guarantee I can do it consistently because I don't actually know the specifics of when it happens. I just know that there are major story points in which it happens. Storyline points at which it happens. We spent about 30 minutes grinding or so to get everybody up to level 8, except Clive, he's level 9. So I think we're ready to get started. Let's do it. And I'm going to talk over this cutscene just because, you get copyright strikes and shit for the most trivial and stupid of stuff. But yeah, this is actually one of the most interesting opening scenes. I like the music to Wild Arms 2 the most for its opening scenes. But this is the most innovative one that I've ever seen, is that it almost wanted to treat itself like a TV show, constantly updating itself. And there is a Wild Arms anime, but I don't really recommend it that much. There are people that like it, but I think it's hit and miss to me, personally. But I do enjoy that they put this much effort into it. I really do, because there's not really any cutscenes in this game that are animated. Not gonna lie, it's just something that doesn't really happen. So it's kind of an interesting observation. To note, to keep that into mind. And so I want you guys to kind of try and instill this cutscene in your memory. Try to keep it locked in tight so you can remember it, because it's going to change dramatically as the game goes on. With a few visuals still being the same, but not all of them. But I love this attention to detail. I really, really do. And some people like the English dubbed singing, and some people like the Japanese. It's really a personal preference. I don't feel like arguing with otaku over it, and I'm not going to. Sometimes the English dub is better, Great Teacher Onizuka. Those who hunt elves, some people even argue Cowboy Bebop. Just saying, you got to give credit where credit is due. All right, so we need to head over to the dungeon that Gallows was in his prologue, as this is where the story pretty much continues. As I hit the polar opposite of the right way. There's no need for us to fight any enemies, so we're not going to. We want to keep our health rather full, because we're going to have ourselves a cavalcade of boss fights to deal with. And if for any reason we feel we need to leave and heal, we can, but I'm going to try to avoid that. And we want to fight these guys in a very specific order because of reasons. And I'll explain them as we attempt to do it. It's different than I imagined. It's hard to explain, but you thought it'd be a lot more beautiful and glorious. Does that explain it? With its sanctuary housing guardians, the power that sustains the world, you do have certain expectations. Suits me fine. This place is just like Felgaia, empty and barren with only dry winds blowing through. Is Felgaia the way it is because of how the guardians are, or is it the other way around? Who cares? Huh? I think it's trying to tell us something. Yo, what do we do? I don't know. Don't ask me. Wouldn't you be the one to know? We were a little unprepared. We should have inquired as to its proper handling. Something's beginning to swell up. I don't think I can hold it any longer. Trust me, the amount of poop jokes I could have made there, in and of itself, I'm holding back. And the fact that I said poop jokes, well, I guess that in and of itself is a joke. Ah! Dookie! Where's the Arc Scepter? Perhaps this phosphorescence is a ritual meant for the bearer of the Arc Scepter. Does that mean we've officially been deemed bearers? Little nod there. Ooh. Ah. What was that? My head. My hangovers were never this bad. Is this a migraine? The pressure inside our heads does indeed feel like one. However, this feels as if someone is calling to us from deep within our hearts. It's soft but very loud at the same time. If this really is the shrine where the guardians are worshipped, then this voice must be that them their guardian. Let's go. Alright, so we want to fight these guys in a pretty specific order, and the reason is not because of elemental canceling outs. It has nothing to do with that. The reason we want to fight them in a certain order, and I hopefully don't screw the order up, is because you get access to healing magic, and we like healing magic. I know it's not that one. The problem is two of these guys kind of look similar, and it's not that one. So I think it's this. I think it is this one. And if we're wrong, we'll figure it out. The vision of your mind is bound together. The ground senses waves of quakes into the distance. You feel a presence bigger than and heavier than anything. The power of earth crushes all will to hell. I was wrong. The bearer of the Arc Scepter must have the strength to fight that which has no form. Fight and show your strength to Guardemon. So I wanted to fight Staudark first, but we'll deal with it as follows. Gujira! So let's go ahead and have everybody block for the first round because of this kind of nonsense, where they're going to use their uber attack, so to speak. Guardians are much like summons to a degree, and they're what are going to grant our characters their magical powers, per se. Alright, let's get to it. Attack, attack. We've got to get our FP up, so at least for Virginia, so she can Mystic a Heal Berry when we need to, because we're going to need to do that at some point in this battle, most likely, but it's hard to say. These guys have around 1,000 HP, or usually a little less, it seems, when I try to do the math. So this is going to take a handful of rounds. As you can see, he is countering all physical attacks done to him. Luckily, we are dodging like a boss. And now he's going to put up shield, which we can't counter, which is bad. Hence why I didn't want to fight him first. Because then we could have used some kind of magical abilities to lessen what he could do. But alas, we're stuck with this. Let's do a lock on. So our level's pretty high, hence why we're dodging a lot. And nice crit there, Virginia. That a girl. And so if you were a lower level, he'd be hitting you with this more frequently. So we're kind of lucked out. Level 8 seems to be the key level to get your characters to. I think you would not take as much damage as well if you were level 7. He would hit. I think he's when he really starts hitting you with that counter. So, but since it's not usually that big of a deal, we can usually get through rather safe. Alright, so Virginia's ready to do Gatling. So we can do that next round. Well, not next round, the round after, because she's going to need to recover all of her shots. All of her rounds. Same with Gallows, for that matter. Oh, there's a hit. So this will be a lot less of a damaging round this time. So reload, attack, reload, attack. He's going to be dead probably before Gatling goes off, though. Depending on how much damage Clive can do. No, I guess we are going to get Gatling off. That's fine. And here comes Planet Breaker. So this is not good. Not good at all. But as you can see, we took the damage pretty well. Alright, let's go ahead and try to end this with Gatling. He has access to Gatling? Oh, because he's got one shot less. That's why. And that's it. So no Gela, but good XP. But as you can see, it's not going to be enough in the grand scheme of things. And we get Terra Roar. A medium doesn't exhibit its power just by holding on to it. You have to go to the menu's invoke command. You invoke the medium and become one with the guardian power. Each one of us can invoke up to 3 mediums. Anything above that will overload our consciousness, and it may result in terrible consequences. Once a medium is invoked, the Arcana command becomes available during battle. Arcana is the extension of the Guardian's power. Think of it as magic, if you will. It can be said that using Arcana is also the key to winning. But one thing you have to watch out for is the enemy's elemental properties. The effectiveness of an Arcana attack can differ greatly depending on the enemy's elemental properties. That sounds more like a tutorial than an actual explanation, my friend. But he is not wrong. Terra Roar usually is a good candidate for maybe Virginia. One character, usually there's a character I tend not to put magic on, and that's usually because of various reasons not to put it on him. And I'll explain it once we kind of collect them all here. I think this was the one we wanted to fight. The monolith is decorated with a strange symbol whose meaning is beyond you. Alright, we already know this. The visions in your mind may slowly stop. You can feel the presence, kinder and more passionate than anything. The power of water engulfs you in its grasp. The bearer, the Arc Scepter, have the strength to fight that which has no form. Fight and show your strength to Sturdark. Now, Sturdark I wanted to fight first because he actually has the healing magic. That is pretty much what Gallo's magical layout originally was. And yeah, that would have been nice to open up the last battle with, but that's not gonna happen. Up faith. If you're really hurting too and you have gems, there are some of these guys you could use it on. So we took a lot of damage there, so you can see his AoE is going to be nasty. So we don't want this battle to drag out too long. And we're going to need to use heal berry, at least one heal berry, maybe 2. And you know what? Instead of going with lock-on with Clive, we're probably going to just try to build his FP all the way up so he can do Gatling. It'll end up doing, I think, more damage in the long run. Alright. Nice dodge. The only one that may not do Gatling is Virginia, because we're going to need her to heal. And the other reason I want her to heal is I don't want to use a lot of vitality. They're good reasons. They're good reasons. Uh-oh, here comes some Magique. At least he's doing it to Gallows, who has the best magic resistance, really, of the group. We can go probably one more round, I'd say, before we have to worry about... we're going to just have Clive attack, actually. I'm having Clive attack because I don't want to waste a round for him to reload, because he may not actually be attacked. Nice crit. And the other thing is Staudark's probably one of the weakest Guardians HP-wise, meaning he's easier to kill, but he also does more damage. So it's a kind of a 6 and 1/2 dozen the other issue. He hits a little harder than some of the other Guardians we're going to be fighting in this area for the moment, and whatnot. But he's not necessarily the worst thing ever. Let's go ahead and Mystic a Heal Berry. He's about due for a overkill. Let's go ahead and get everybody reloaded to full. And that's how Mystic works. One Heal Berry gets spread across 4 characters, and it doesn't change the performance. So you get the same amount of healing one character would get is spread across 4 characters. And it's not like a character would have gotten 1200 HP. Only one character would have gotten 300 HP. So it's really, really effective. Go ahead and have her attack. Gatling, Gatling, Gatling. Let's see him survive this. Which he might, but I don't think he will. I don't know, that was it. Nice. So yeah, and by the way, we're not going to level off of these 4 dudes. We're pretty beefy right now, so I'm just saying. Probably not something to concern ourselves about. So we get Aqua Wisp. Yay. And we'll put that on Gallows. But yeah, one character is probably going to end up with 2 of these guys just because of reasons. Alright. You feel a presence hotter and more ferocious than anything. The power of fire spreads its crimson wings. The bearer of the Arc Scepter must have the strength to fight that which has no form. Fight, and show your strength to Morgult. Morgult. So Morgult's the other one that hits really, 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 really hard. So again, we're going to start by protecting ourselves from this. And he will use this multiple times, so if we don't beat him quickly. So it's just something to keep in mind. Ouchie waba. No, he hurts. That's what Gallows is for. But Gallows also can do the most single round damage too, I think. Yeah, and that's the other thing we gotta worry about too. Nice. Oh, and he's getting a crit. Even nicer. Hopefully he doesn't go for Virginia. Oh, no! Survive it, girl! No! That can... And we're over-leveled and that can happen. Yeah, Morgult's pretty rough. Hence why we wanted to get Gallows right away. So we need to pick Virginia up. Hopefully she doesn't get knocked down again. Because Revive Fruits are things you also cannot buy, I believe. But we're going to have to get her to heal herself. And there, the battle's won. Whew! I thought she was going to miss out. You can see it ate up all of her vitality. And we get Fiery Rage, which is me after Mexican food. Alright, Fiery Rage. You might be surprised, but what it means is, and if I'm not mistaken, if we go to Gallows here, we'll talk about personal skills later. Revive is in there, Fragile and Devastate are in there, and then Cremate. So he gets Fragile, which is an AoE, you know, with Gallows becomes AoE, as does Revive. Hence why he's a really pretty good candidate for it. Whereas Grudev is really Petrify, Shield, Protect, and Accelerate. So that's all the defensive stuff. Or Decelerate. Theoretically, you could just give that to Gallows as well, but I think that Gallows is better off having Fragile and Revive as an AoE option. And we do want to pass some of this around. Alright. So last but not least, should be this one. You feel the presence sharper than swifter than anything. The power of wind shakes the vast wasteland. The bearer of the Arc Scepter must have the strength to fight that which has no form. Fight and show your strength to Fingalon. Or Fengalon. Fingalon? Whatever. So, anywho, like all these other battles, let's not get hit by his Uber attack, as I like to call it. Do diddly do diddly do. And then attack, 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 and attack. We don't have, Virginia doesn't have enough FP to do what I want her to do. And he's going to use Turbulence, which is not good. High evasion. As was what I was afraid of. Which means we'll have to use things like Lock On to hit him. Nice. Love when that kicks in. So rewarding. Let's use Petrify, I guess. Yeah. You notice he's always going to go first too, so we got to kind of be careful who to whom he chooses to attack. Get some. All right. We're doing okay so far. All right. Seal Virginia just to be safe. So you can see this battle's a bit more drawn out. Oh, we're going to get hit by the AoE, which is good. We're healing Virginia. And we're not blocking, so this could hurt. Yeah, good thing we're healing her. Hopefully she doesn't get hit by a counterattack. Or that the battle's over. Yeah, that's even better. And we get our first Earth Gem. So we're not going to level, but characters are close. And we're hurting pretty bad. And we get the Gale Claw, which we'll put on Jet for now, I think. Because, let's take a look here. Yeah, Quicken, Turbulence, Inspire, and Vortex. Yeah, it makes sense to put it on him. Now, the reason Clive's not getting one, which is very much something people would, like, hiss at me over, is mainly because I don't think he needs one. He's slow. He's the slowest character of the four. I'll explain it in a little bit. Earth, Water, Fire, and Wind. So we got all four whoops, wrong voice. Earth, Water, Fire, and Wind. So we get all four mediums from the four great guardians. And these mediums in their purest form are said to contain special powers. One of them is to summon. Summoning is classified as a force ability and its command which lets you materialize the guardian's power by expending FP. The destructive power increases as more FP is expended and affects multiple targets. A couple things you have to watch out for. One is that, just like Arcana, its effectiveness can vary depending on the target's elemental properties. And two, the number of times you can use it is equal to your MTC, migrant thingy. The biggest drawback, though, is that once you summon, all of your FP will be depleted. With 0 FP, your options will be limited, since FP also affects Arcana and Force abilities. And you can't ignore how it affects your attack and defense power too. This is something you should use strategically. Well then. Now that it's all over, I suggest we go see Hallie. This was an official mission that we undertook. The proper thing to do is go back and report. I still can't believe that the power of this sustains the world. Ugh. I still can't believe that the power that sustains the world is inside this tiny little plate. It's even more unbelievable that it's mine. All mine. Now you'll notice there were more stairways, but we couldn't go up them because we don't have the ability to do that, which probably means we'll be back here later. Hey, boss, shouldn't we go after them? Nah, we'll let them be, but only for the time being. But boss, look. A watchbird, huh? Well, we did fail to seize the Arc Scepter. I'll have to deal with the consequences, but sooner or later, I'll have to come through for them, or else I'll have my head for sure. The hell's he talking about, Alright, so yeah, the reason I don't give Clive, one of these summons or one of these guardians is really just because he's so slow. Being as slow as he is kind of devalues the elemental abilities affiliated with him. Gallows is the most effective magic user, but he's also the third slowest character. But giving magic to the other characters is just as Jet and Virginia, in my sense, strategically makes more sense. So I might move around some abilities to Gallows and some to others. So like he has right now, he has the other skill. He has Staudark and he has fire and water right now. I could change the fire depending on the boss fights coming up and change it for something else as needed. Well done, I knew you could do it. Now, hand me the 4 mediums. Hold up, Granny. You're not planning to secretly switch those with imitations, are you? Bite your tongue. You think I would stoop that low? That's something you would do. Now listen to me well. Each of these pure mediums emits a special aura that protects the bearer. It enhances your physical attributes by raising all of your attack and defensive levels, allowing you to take on powerful monsters. And... Whoa! Quit overreacting all the time. Shame on you. But the mediums... Nothing to worry about. They're all right here. Personal skills are hidden within each medium to protect the bearer. Personal skills are activated by expending PS points and vary according to your level. Their many uses vary from offense to defense and anything else you might need to fight off monsters. I have just awakened this hidden power inside the mediums. Now invoke your medium and experience their powers firsthand. So, yay. So what it means is we can have access to personal skills, and she wasn't lying. We can invest in a lot of this, and whatnot. Now, Defender is... You don't really want to invest in that right now. We'll invest into it later. But investing into it now would be rather bad. We'll invest into status ward. And the reason why is because we don't want Virginia jumping in front of enemy attacks right now. We'll take counterattack. We have enough to take... We'll do 2 in Thunder and 2 in Wind. And every level we go up, we get more access. So the wards are really good. Nullifies physical attacks, you say? And the status wards, to me, are the most important things. This is actually pretty useful. So we'll do that. And then, obviously, Clive is sad. But he has the big old hand... He has the big old arm cannon. So as far as I'm concerned, it makes sense to kind of put him on the back burner for some of that. Anywho, crossing. We need to chat with Roykman here. Well, since my foot injury, I've had to stay put here, but I think it's better now. I'm going to get my show back on the road. I'm heading to the next village soon. That village would be Jolly Roger. It lies beyond the bridge on the shore to the southwest. It being a port town, it's a place where travelers from all over the world cross paths. I hope our paths cross again too. Remember, I'm always open for business. You don't say, buddy. So he gives us information of where we need to go, which is easier said than done. But for the most part, we can do some of that. So yeah, let's go ahead and let me think here. We don't need to buy anything. I'm not gonna save right now. We're not. Oh, we need to heal up. That's what we needed to do. Well, what do we do now? Does anyone have any pressing matters that they would like to take care of? We were all out having fun releasing the Guardians. No one has any errands to run? And now that we're all done, why don't we just do our own thing? Do our own thing? I suggest we head down to the bussin' port town of Jolly Roger. I'm sure we can obtain some leads and further missions and means of transportation. That's not a bad idea. We'll find our own path from there. Well, we've only known each other for a short while, but we were able to complete all our missions. Let's have a goodbye party here. A goodbye party. A goodbye party? Ew. A goodbye party? Whose? Ours? Oh yeah, it's not like we're a team or anything. It's decided then. Let us say it to Jolly Roger. Okay. To Jolly Roger. Ho! Alright, but before we head to Jolly Roger, let's jolly heal up. Because I forgot to do that. And healing is free here. And the enemies in the overworld are kind of a waste of time for the moment, so... Not by much, but it's, 4 or 5 battles we could level up on our way to Jolly Roger, but I'm not... We did our pre-game grinding here. There will be more grinding sessions coming. We are playing a Wild Arms game. But there are, like all the other prior Wild Arms games, there are better ways to power level. You just have to get to those points of the game to do the power leveling as it is needed. Alright, we're good to go. Running. No, we don't need to fight. We only need to fight enemies on the other side of the area here. So if we run, we'll see a railroad, and then we need to go slightly southwest of the railroad. Or east, rather. And there it is, the land bridge that we're looking for. The battles around here aren't too bad, considering you can show up around here level 4 and pretty much kill everything. This is kind of a waste of time. We didn't get any of the newer enemies. But I'm going to just show the battle here, because we're almost out of time. But I do want to get to Jolly Roger and kind of clear it out and take care of a few things before we end the episode. And talk about a new feature that we haven't run into yet. Because the new feature will actually be relevant going forward. Gobs, really? I guess I could have just ganged up on one. Yeah, these are old enemies, obviously, too. I was hoping for something newer. Alright. And here's the town that we were told about, Jolly Roger. Yay! Yay! Well, what now? We obviously need to get some leads in order to continue. In addition, we need grub and ale. It's so amazing how well we get along after just meeting each other. So let's liven up our farewell party with some food. I can't stand morose gatherings. You mean to ask around over drinks at the saloon? Makes sense. Let's say goodbye and discuss our individual agendas over at the saloon. Alright, well, that's going to be a thing. But first, we're going to go ahead and deal with goodies. Let's get Clive out here. Did they change that? No, they didn't. I don't know why it's ordered that way. That's weird. Alright. Is this the armsmith? No. I forget. I saw the sign for it. Whoops. I keep screwing that up. Alright. Now... Okay, there it is. The migrant seal. Yay! Migrant level increases the cost of canceling an encounter, decreases, allowing you to avoid more powerful enemies. Yeah, we're gonna be collecting the crap out of these, by the way. Let's go over here to the saloon. We're gonna get some. Well, let's grab this, and the rest of the stuff is really up here. If I'm not mistaken. We don't want to go there yet. Ow. Heelberry. Go over here. Mini carrot, yay. Alright, so we get a dragon fossil. Sweet. And dragon fossils, don't worry about those right now. Those will be explained a lot later. Trust me on this. Alright, so let's head up and we'll head back. And we'll go see the armsmith next. This is the thing I really wanted to stretch the episode out. Maybe an extra 7 minutes or so longer than I would normally probably try to do. I'm trying to keep the episodes around 30 to 35 minutes. Even though that would create a lot of episodes, I just figure it's easier for you guys to do this kind of a little more episodically. Now, the issue with arms development is that we're building up... You don't buy weapons in this game. You level up the weaponry that characters have. So, yeah. So, just saying. And it's not cheap either. As you can see, upgrade costs is... very, 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 very expensive. And it really comes down to what you think's going to be good, right? So there's going to be that. So what I would suggest for the characters, I'm not going to invest in them now because obviously we don't have money. But we want to do... Our long-term goal here is to reduce weight for Virginia and increase her bullet count to help her with Gatling. Is my long-term plan. Jet is just going to get investments in damage more than anything else, as well as we're gonna we might spend some points in his crit, but I'm not convinced of that fully yet. But it's something on the list of things to do. So Gallows has the worst accuracy, but you have to kind of figure out how you want to do it. So yeah. So we can put some points into I would say hit, which is accuracy. And I would put invest a little bit, I guess, into his damage and his you can always invest in his crit. His crit's not very good. And then Clive is the most interesting and simplistic one. He has accuracy up the wazoo. He naturally. So there's really nothing to invest with Clive at all, except really investing in his shooting and his damage and maybe his crit. So I would try to invest as much into shot first. You can see you can upgrade every weapon 15 times. So I would put like 9 to 10 of it in shot, and then maybe the rest in crit. He's not going to be missing anytime soon. So that would be the way I design them. Bullet and weight for Virginia. Shot and crit for Jet and Clive. Sometimes people feel the need to give Clive more bullets. You can, if you're going to take away from his crit, I would say. But he really doesn't need the extra bullets. He does so much damage. And then Gallows really needs more damage, more accuracy. Some and crit too. So I would break down and give him like maybe 10 to accurate, 5 to accuracy, 5 to shot, and 5 to crit, or divide these two and then only put 3 or 4 into crit, 2 to 3 and 2 to 4 into crit. Just divide this however you want. It really doesn't hurt you either way, but getting his accuracy up is going to be a big deal because Gallows probably has the worst overall weapon in the game, as much as that is said. And the reason why, again, Virginia's weaponry selection is so good and why we're only investing in bullets and weight is it has a lot to do with her Gatling, using her Gatling over the other characters, because she has 6, she starts the game with a bullet count of 5. And that's a really, really, really big deal for what's going to eventually be coming later. So investing into that, there's investing into Gatling and other things, because Gatling doesn't really miss. There's no reason to improve her accuracy. And lowering the weight reduces I believe it reduces how much FP is needed to use Gatling. So it's interesting. So like again, we're gonna give her points in weight reduction and in bullet reduction, or and give her more bullets. So that might be something that I would argue is worth investing in. So hopefully that gives you guys some inside info here. And for the record, if we use magic to kill enemies in combat, we can actually sell and make and earn some gems to buy some upgrades. Now, I'm not going to buy upgrades for every character, but I want to at least get some of the characters started on that road. So I'm going to make a little effort to earn some cash, just a little bit. We don't need a lot. So I'm not really going to be leveling, but the characters might actually get to level 9, except for Clive, when I do this. But I do want to get at least 1 or 2 levels going for a few characters. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. I'm your host, the RPG Guy, and when we come back, we'll have our upgrades sorted out and everything, and we'll be continuing to see what happens to these 4 drifters and what's going to come of them. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JackTartStudios for more live gaming action. We'll see you guys next. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please take a moment to check out more episodes from the RPG Guy, Tuesday Night Team Up, and more. And please subscribe. Always support the channels you enjoy watching, and while you're at it, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Keep on gaming hard. See you next time.